Yo, 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 what's up, what's up, what's up? And welcome back to the lower lobby. I'm your host, Alejandra Echeverria, and this is the fourth episode of this podcast. If you're watching, you will notice that I'm still wearing the same clothes. And if you watched the video before this, you will know that my last outro was just an abomination. I literally said, what did I say? I was like, gotcha. Like, I just made up a word because I just didn't know what to say. So you can tell I'm still learning. I'm still new here. Okay. Don't hold it against me. We're all learning. Okay. We're all figuring it out. So let's move on to the topic of today's video, which is why failure is essential for success. Oh, yeah. Let me tell you, I have a friend. I have a very close and personal friend who loves to just regret. Loves to regret and feel bad about the past. Because yes, my love, yes, I will give you scratches. If it wants to feel bad because things didn't go the way they planned and they worked so hard and had so many big dreams and it hasn't resulted the way they wanted it to result, and now they're sad and it's weighing on them constantly, and it's baggage and they're carrying it around and oftentimes so just sad, and I'm just bro, stop it. Stop it. Don't you know that failure is essential for success? Guys, let me tell you, I have failed a lot, okay? Not in the same way as my friend, but my friend, gender. Okay, so he's worked really hard on a lot of different projects that have really worked out for other people, but they have never gotten a piece of that pie in a way. So, or the projects of their own, just fell through in a nasty way, or there were scams involved, and it's just really unfortunate stuff. But what I try to tell my friend so often is that listen, man, what you perceive as failure, okay, is just a stepping stone to your success. And it's a piece, and more importantly, okay, it's a piece of your story, of your character development. Because the reason why it wasn't a success oftentimes is because, one, we're not ready to receive it. Two, there was something that we didn't see or know consciously or subconsciously, something blocked that thing or that dream from coming into our lives, right? And so oftentimes we're just not there yet, and there's a lesson we need to learn. At other times it's just what was I gonna say? Oftentimes, I don't know. Let's move on. Frick. You guys, I'm telling you, this is just my fourth episode. Is it my fourth or is it my third? I don't know. I'm still learning. So please, forgive me if I just ramble or talk in circles. So to be gentle with myself, I am going to move on to something that I think might be a little overwhelming, but it might also be really interesting. I thought it was interesting. I conjured up a list with my very helpful friend, Sage, who is really just ChatGPT, but we're on a first name basis now, and I asked Sage to put together, and I mean, it was a big list, and I chose my favorites and deleted the rest of quotes from very famous authors about success. So we have it divided in different categories, and I think it would be cool. Okay, Obviously, this topic is super deep and profound, and I think I will definitely talk about it again. But for now, let's keep it light. Let's run through these quotes. Let's talk a little bit about them. Let's see what we think. And let's just call it at that, So let's start. Failure can be seen as a stepping stone, right? So these are quotes that are on failure as a path, like I said earlier, as a path to success. The first quote is by Truman Capote. Truman Capote. Failure is the condiment that gives success its flavor. I love this. I feel like, failure is like the parts of your story. It's like, think about it. Think about, like, let's say you need to climb a mountain or you want to get to the top of a mountain, right? Let's say that your climb to the top was like really easy and you literally just woke up one day and then you set out and then nothing happened, but you just like walked up and got to the top. And then when people ask you, wow, how'd you do it? How'd you get to the top? You're just like, I just like walked up and it was easy. Like there weren't really any challenges, or I just like did it like that. And people would be like, cool, bro. Like, what's the takeaway? Like, what am I supposed to learn from that? Right? Like, I feel like the failures and the hardships that we overcome in our life, they are like Truman said, like it's the flavor that seasons success, because when you do reach success or you do accomplish some task, you're just like, wow, I've come such a long way. I've overcome so much. Like, and I can't believe like I almost like I came across so many roadblocks, but I overcame them. And I'm such a stronger person now because of it. Right? Okay, next quote. This one's from Winston Churchill. He says, success is stumbling from failure to failure with no loss of enthusiasm. I love this quote, okay? Success is stumbling from failure to failure with no loss of enthusiasm. Yeah, that's basically it. And I wish I could tell my friend who like has a crappy attitude and lives with a lot of regret. It's like literally every person who has succeeded at something or has done something great has failed a lot of times. And I think the key to achieving success is like when you come across a roadblock or when things don't go your way and it doesn't work out perfectly, like you have to just be a Pollyanna, which is like, I have this belief we should all try to be Pollyannas, which is a hopelessly optimistic person. If like it's something doesn't go your way, it's so easy to be like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do now? Like, oh, it's screwed, right? Like, oh, this is so hard, blah, blah, blah. But if you look at a failure and instead of like reacting and being upset about it, or like a quote unquote failure, because it's only a failure. And there's another quote in here that's like, it's only a failure if you give up, right? If you keep going and you push through it, you'll eventually succeed, right? But I see, I jumped too many I jumped to too many ideas and I lost my original thoughts. So I'm just going to move on to the next quote. Hopefully that's okay. Sorry, guys. Next quote by Thomas Edison. I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. Damn, Thomas. Yeah, you did. Yes, you did. 10,000 ways that it didn't work. Absolutely. Imagine if Thomas Edison had been like, after a couple light bulb attempts, he had been like, you know what? I can't do it. Like, I quit. Like, I failed 5 times. Imagine if he didn't carry on figuring out how a light bulb isn't made. I guess it just took that many attempts to figure out how it is made. And thank goodness he did, right? Next quote by Henry Ford. He says, fail. And I'm so sorry if all of these are men. No, there's one woman, maybe 2. So I was just going to apologize if these are all quotes from men. It wasn't me. It was the patriarchy. It was chat. Blame it on the chat. Sorry, I just need 1 second to recalibrate my nostrils. Henry Ford says, you guys, oh my gosh, thank you for bearing with me. Failure is should I stop calling you guys? I should just stop doing that. You guys, it's really just like one person probably watching this. It'd be interesting if there was like a group of people listening, then it would be you guys, but I'm just gonna say you. Hey you. Henry Ford said, failure is simply the opportunity to begin again, and this time more intelligently. Absolutely. We can all agree this quote is facts. Okay. Look at failure, quote unquote failure, as just like a lesson. It's like, oh, now I know I don't touch the stovetop when it's hot because it burns. So next time I won't touch the stovetop and I won't burn myself. Probably not the best example, but you get the point. You learn from your mistakes, and then you won't make the same mistakes, and then you get smarter and you get wiser, and then you just can evolve faster. Wow. Logic. Ooh, baby. Next category, and this one talks about embracing and learning from failure. Okay. First one's by James Joyce. He says, mistakes are the portals of discovery. Yeah. If you look at mistake, right? Like, let's think about a mistake. Drop down in the comments below a mistake that you've made and learned from. They are the portals of discovery. Of course, it's basically like, if you don't make a mistake, then you don't learn that lesson, right? And so if you never learn that lesson, you never discover that thing. Otherwise, you just go through life like, I guess it just works out, like no lessons here. But yeah, when you make mistakes, they're portals to discovery. So it just kind of like you go down the wrong path, but then you realize, oh, this is not the path. And then you got to go back to the main road. And then you're like, now I know I don't go down that path. And I've discovered that, right? Thank you, James Joyce, for that quote. Whoever that is. Guys, educate me. Who is James Joyce? Next quote, J.M. Barrie, someone who I also don't know. They said, we are all failures. At least the best of us are. So true, JM. So true. The people that succeed the most are the people that have failed the most. Absolutely. The best humans have, I think, tried and failed so many times. Unless they're like super lucky or super rich. So actually, I don't know. Scratch that. I don't know if that's true. Moving on. Robert F. Kennedy. I know who that is, guys. He was our president, right? He was. Of course he was. Duh. He says, only those who dare to fail greatly can ever achieve greatly. Oh, this resonates with my soul. Like, I truly believe that, like, you have to be willing, like, if you want to achieve something great, you really have to be willing to make a big fool out of yourself. Like, for example, me trying to be a podcaster, right? Which is not something that's like super great in the grand scheme of things. But like, you know, I have to be willing to put myself in a position where people can be like, oh my God, who does she think she is? Or I can put myself in a position where, you know, I make 100 episodes and there's no results and nobody likes my podcast and nobody likes listening to me. And that can, you know, a lot of work would have gone into this and that would be really sad and really heartbreaking. So, you have to dare to fail, right? Like, dare to fail, period. Thank you, Robert. Moving on. Confucius, he says, or they say, no, he says, no. Okay. Confucius says, our greatest glory is not in never failing, but in rising every time we fall. Yeah, dude. Basically, in a nutshell, don't give up. Never give up. If you fail, just get up and start again. Because if you fail and you quit, then you're a quitter. And then like you just become stagnant. You just stagnate and then you die. Are you allowed to say that word on YouTube? F it. Yeah, of course you are. Life, death, that's part of, it's full circle. Full circle. We live and we die. Again, I forgot my water. Guys, stay hydrated. Next category, it is on failure as a necessary part of success. Albert Hubbard says, there is no failure except in no longer trying. Okay, never give up. Thank you, Albert. Moving on. Stephen McCrane. Guys, educate me. I don't know who that is. Maybe I should do better research. The master has failed more. Ooh, this one's a good one. Okay, I'm going to say it again. The master has failed more times than the beginner has ever tried. Boom. Thank you, Stephen McCranie. Yeah. This could not be more true. Like when you see someone, you're like, wow, the grandmaster, like a chess master, right? The grandmaster. Think about how many games they had to lose to become the best, right? The master has just like by default failed so many times to become good at what they're good at. And so when you're a beginner and then you're like, meh, I suck. It's like, yeah, because you just started. No, duh. Of course you suck. You have to be okay with sucking for a little bit before you can be great at it. And that's why you have to be willing, ballsy. What was the other quote? It was like, you have to be willing. Oh, you have to dare to fail greatly so you can achieve greatly. Thank you, Robert. Next category, it is on the perspective of failure. This one is by, Albert Hubbard. Oh my God, another quote by Albert Hubbard, someone who educated me, guys. I'm going to stop saying guys. The greatest mistake you can make in life is to be continually fearing you will make one. Oh my gosh. That's so true. Like the greatest mistake you can make in life is to be continually fearing you will make one. It's like, yeah, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Wow. It's so funny how like you have all these like super deep and like amazing quotes, but like at the end of the day, everything can be simplified and dumbed down. It's like, don't be afraid to make mistakes, essentially. Because you're gonna make mistakes. So it's like, just go at it with like the innocence and the courage of like a little kid who believes he's invincible. And I mean, obviously like be safe, like don't be dumb, but like go at it and just like do your best, because like if you fail, then just like deal with it when you fail. Don't be like worried that you're gonna fail, because like, oh, it's like that well, I don't know the name for it, but you know when you are like riding a bike, right, and there's a road and you're on the road and there's like a little rock in the road and you're kind of like new on the bike, and so you're pedaling and it's funny because like the more you focus on the rock, the more likely you are to like actually drive into the rock. But if instead you focus on the open path or the available path ahead of you, the more likely you are to like stay on that path. I think there was like a better way to frame that with like skiing or snowboarding like through a forest. You know, it's like all you have to do is focus on the opening, not on the trees, because if you focus on the trees, you're gonna run into a tree. Next quote by Lao Tzu: failure is the foundation of success and the means by which it is achieved. Failure is the foundation of success. Absolutely. You have to fail to succeed. So don't be afraid to make mistakes. Wow. Charlie Chaplin says, failure is unimportant. It takes courage to make a fool of yourself. So true. So true. Just like I'm doing now. It takes courage. It takes courage. I take all your judgments and all your criticisms. I'll allow it because honestly, I could judge myself right now, but I'm having way too much fun to care. So yeah, there's another idea. If you're going to do something, make sure it's something that you like to do, because if you like to do it and you enjoy it, then like, it doesn't really matter if you fail, quote unquote, because like, at least you had fun and at least you're like enjoying your life. So like, what does it matter if this becomes a successful podcast or not? Or if it takes me years longer than I want it to take me, cause like, at least I'm having fun while I'm doing it. So it's worth it. Eloise Ristad, our first lady, I think. She says, when we give ourselves permission to fail, we at the same time give ourselves permission to excel. Wow, so true. So true. It's basically like saying, when we, oh gosh, am I going to dumb this down in a ridiculous way again? When we give, essentially, when we try something new, two things can happen, right? I mean, no, three things could happen. You could suck at it, you could be good at it, or you could be neutral at it. So essentially, it's like whenever you try something new, or when you give yourself permission to fail, you're also giving yourself permission to excel. It's that simple. And all I did was just reread the quote again for you. So, because it's just that simple. I don't need to explain it to you. You're smart. You get it. Lance Armstrong, Lance, he says, pain is temporary, but quitting lasts forever. Don't be a quitter. Don't be a quitter. It's okay if you fail. It's temporary. Just keep going. Keep pushing. Keep striving. Because if you quit, then you're a quitter. And don't be a quitter, because it's temporary. The pain of failure is temporary. But if you get up and you try again, that might have been, like, think about it. Maybe you've been working on something and it fails. And you're like, damn it, I'm going to try again. And you try again. And then you fail. And then you're like, damn it. And then you try again. And then you fail. And then you're like, should I quit? Should I give up? Like, I think I'm going to give up. But here's this. What if that was the time before the moment you succeed? Like, what if Thomas Edison gave up on his 9,999th attempt, right? We wouldn't, I mean, I guess we would have light bulbs by now, but like, he wouldn't have discovered or created the light bulb, right? So like, yeah, don't give up. Don't be a quitter. George Edward Woodbury. That's cute. He says, defeat is not the worst of failures. Not to have tried is the true failure. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I honestly believe that the most depressing thing, or like the saddest thing that you can experience in this life, is to get to like not 45, but like 55, 65, 75, and think back and be like, oh, I wonder what would have happened if I tried, you know? That's sad. So, don't do that. Defeat is not the worst of failure. Not having tried is true failure. So true. So true. Only 2 more quotes to go. Okay, I'm going to try not to do that again. I feel like that was excruciating. Zig Ziglar. That's cute too. I like that. Zig Ziglar says, failure is an event, not a person. Yesterday ended last night. Oh, wait. I think we have to dig into this one. Okay, failure is an event, not a person. And yesterday ended last night. Right. So if you fail, it's an event. Like when you go to a concert, it's an event, right? It's like, oh, I failed. Oh, I went to a concert, but that was yesterday. So I failed yesterday. So it's an event. And just move on. Yesterday, the concert was yesterday, now we're today. Like, it doesn't matter if the concert sucked or if you failed on something, because that was yesterday and we're today. And yeah. Sir Ken Robinson says, if you're not prepared to be wrong, you'll never come up with anything original. So you have to be okay with being wrong, and failing, and just making a fool out of yourself, like I probably am right now. Everybody clap your hands. Thank you so much for being here, for watching, for listening. Hopefully you enjoyed the quotes, and tune in for the next episode. I'm gonna be posting pretty much like one every day, so I hope you have a really good one. I'm going to work on my outros for you, but I will leave you with this. Peace and blessings. And namaste, baby. Because I'm a go. Yeah, I'm sticking to that. Goodbye.